little bit there that there's a moment sometimes, like a ding, 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 something's got to give. Was there a moment for you where you went, oh my God, I have to start being more present, where you really woke up to the power of being present, or, you know, the importance of this? Gosh, that's a brilliant question. I think you can speak to that in terms of your
I can speak to that in, I'm sure it's loud enough.
They want to hear you. They want to hear you.
In terms of photography, definitely I found that while I was lucky enough with my first job out of school, full-time job, I worked at a 1-hour photo store. Prince Charming it was called. Play on words, it was Prints.
And he was Prince Charming.
And the logo had this frog with a crown on it. Anyway, the bosses were so kind that would let you buy a roll of film at cost price back in the film days, and you could then print them off for free once a week. And so I took a lot of photos, and I really got an appreciation for the moment. But it wasn't until then life gets busy. You get caught up in a lot of stuff. Eventually, I found myself in a really dark patch, and I was anywhere but in the moment. I was constantly thinking of the past, which was really devastating. It was, and otherwise, if I looked into the future, it was extremely scary. And thankfully, at that same time, something drew me to picking up the camera again. And it was during those moments where it was just me looking through a viewfinder that I could feel present. I was right there, and the fears were gone, the sadness were gone, and I could take those shots, those moments. And they're intimate, and I feel like when I take these photos, I don't go looking for the big epic vistas. I photograph what I see around me, the little things, and the little things are what count. They stand out, and there's a gentleness to everything out there. You just need to look for it.
And I love what you've said. And one day I'd never heard Roberto answer this question because no one had asked him before. And I guess I don't know, maybe I felt that I understood without having to ask. But someone said, "What are you trying to do with your photography? What are you trying to capture? What are you trying to show?" And I thought, oh, and you paused and you thought about it, and then you said something so lovely. It was something to the effect of, and I'm paraphrasing, you, in your photographs, you're able to capture the softness of things, and what a beautiful, artist's vision or statement to have, or motivation to, in a often harsh, hard, busy world, which can be brash, really overt, it can be loud and hard and bolshy, and to have a motivation as you do, which to me it's visible. I experience it when I look at your work. To capture the softness in things seems important. I think we need these life-affirming, gentle messages right now to come back home to the softness within ourselves, because the world can harden us. And I've always been aware of that, and so quite consciously made sure that doesn't happen. I don't think it could happen to me. I don't think it would be possible, but just not to let life harden you, to soften into yourself and to soften into life, because we're not meant to be bulletproof, impenetrable people. Like, this book is about allowing life to touch us, to move us, to become us, and it's I know Monique leads guided walks, and there's a passage in the book to do with the Japanese tradition of Shinrin-yoku, which is to, literally forest bathing, forest therapy, which I just think is one of the best ideas. And it's taken very seriously in Japan. In fact, we were talking...
It's also taken very seriously in Brisbane.
Monique's got it here. But the idea is that, we... Just to speak to this sensory experience, this experience of allowing life to really move through us. We said earlier, just sitting at the back of the bookshop, it's like you can be in the present moment, but you can be in the present moment in your mind, we spend most of our lives between this tiny space, between our two eyes. You know, there is so much to see, to feel, to experience, and often, and you said so fascinatingly so, you know, sometimes we even forget that we're in a body because we're just so much in our mind. And so how can the experience of, say, Shinrin-yoku, which is walking consciously through a forest, which is what we've done, many photographs in this book were taken in the depths of forests around Australia.
The concept for this book came to us during the forest walk.
The concept, yes, and also the resolution of the design came to us when we were up at Mount Glorious walking at Myella through the forest, and suddenly it landed, like, because people said, how are you going to bring photographs and drawings and words together and have that look, you know, all right? And we were like, well, we didn't know at that stage, but we just knew that it would work.
We could see it in our minds.
We could see it.
We did know.
We knew.
It was hard to translate.
It was hard to translate. And then we had to make some pages, and then when we shared the pages, people then, you know, the powers that be were like, okay, we see that now.
And you made these pages scrapbooking,
yes.
didn't you?
Yes, so this was all
you look
hands-on.
at them and you think they're digitally imposed, but it's hands-on old school.
No, I'm very old school. I mean,
That's what's
sometimes
beautiful.
to a fault.
Beautiful about this book is it's like it's an intimate book because you are looking into an artist's journal, you know, their very own private journal.
It's beautiful.
So to Monique's question earlier, when she said, so did you sort of digitally organise all of these compositions? Well, no, we printed out Roberto's photographs individually, and you would let me know whether you wanted them portrait or landscape or what size you wanted them, and you researched a little bit about traditional photo sizing and in print, and so that was really fun. And then we had this vast collection of photographs. I was spoilt for choice. And then obviously it was the ones that were piping up the most that, you know, got written about, and then they made the book. But there are many more photographs that just are glorious. So we printed them out, and then I was like a little bowerbird. I had bits of fabric, bits of twine, I had bits of blotting paper, and I also had lots of foraged elements from the sites in which we were walking. We were respectfully foraged elements, you know, little bits of, and from our own garden too, and feathers that just sort of flew in. Like I was drawing a bouquet of, drawing next to a photograph that you'd taken of a bouquet of flowers, and a feather flew in and landed onto my desk. And so I just stitched it into the artwork. And I just thought, well, of course that belongs there, and it looked great. So, you know, I just let it come, let it be. And I feel that freshness is experienced because every page of the book is completely different. You just don't know what you're about to turn into, because it's unpredictable. It's like an artist's journal, like a diary. So if you imagine an intimate artist's journal, you can imagine no page would look the same, that each day has a different tone, or, you know. And so that's what we wanted to bring forward. And we didn't only want to bring it forward, it's completely genuine in the sense that it was made just as it's been printed.
Yeah,
Very little has been done to it.
It's a beautiful